It has been said that your home holds the key to your destiny.
We're here to diagnose your life.
Are unseen forces making you sick?
Everything that's on your wall, everything that's on your shelf, every single thing is a clue. This room has tantrums. This room has rage. This room has frustration.
Follow Frances as she reveals what may be hidden in the walls of your home.
Shall we try and find out where that spirit is? Sure. Hello, I'm Frances Fox, and I'm a psychic researcher. What that means is that I use my abilities and my skills to see into other dimensions, to find out what's hidden there that might be bothering you or actually helping you. And we're going to be checking some bodies during the show. You might find it interesting, and you are more than welcome to send us a photograph of yourself or somebody that you know with their permission, and we can do something with you over the internet with the show in the future. What is it that we're going to be able to offer you? Because of my ability and all of our abilities to see into other dimensions, we're going to be able to offer you psychic solutions to problems that human beings have had forever. These solutions have also been around forever. Unfortunately, the pride that we've had in our scientific research and in the modern life that we live has caused us to reject things that are traditional and that have withheld the test of time. Chinese medicine is well over 2,000 years old. Ayurvedic medicine is well over 6,000 years old. Shamanism is well over 6,000 years old. And what they have established that is good for humans and not good for humans is something that we really need to pay attention to. This is not a medical show. This show is actually a show about your life and how what's in your environment transfers to you, how people around you transfer their energy to you and you transfer it to them, how the spaces where you live and where you work, if they're sick, you're going to become sick. Today we call it environmental medicine, but the truth of the matter is it's all about transference of energies, because energy never sits still. When it does, then you become sick or your home becomes sick. The planets transfer energies to you. If you believe in your horoscope, your astrological sign, and you have established through your scientific methodology, which is observe and draw conclusions, that people actually can be very Capricorn or very Cancer or very Virgo, then I think you're going to enjoy the show, because you're going to be able to observe in your own life what it is that we're going to be talking about and apply it to your life. Why is this important? The medicine as we practice it today is rather expensive, and truthfully it does not include the parts of us that are spiritual, emotional, or energetic. We have several energy bodies that have existed forever. The fact that we don't know it doesn't mean that they don't exist. It just means that we've denied their existence. Their existence is in most of our sacred documents, and we're going to talk about those energy bodies, but more than their existence, how they influence you, how your astrological energies come in through your astral emotional body. They don't come into your physical body. Those transference of energies from the planets are not physical. They hit you at a non-physical level, and they definitely hit you. I'm sure a few of you have felt the eclipses last year, and if you're very into the 2012 issue, you need to know that the reason it's so important is because of what the planets will be doing on that kind of crazy date, December 21st, 2012 at 11 in the morning. So this transference of energy and the way we can influence people without even physically looking at them or being in their presence is something we all need to know about, so that we can make sure that we're only transferring good things to the people that we love, and that we're receiving from people good energy rather than bad energy. The word love is very important, but loving energy is not only important but incredibly healing. When you're angry and you don't express it, that anger doesn't just sit inside your throat chakra. It actually transfers out because you didn't process it, and it lands on the people that you love near you. Simple things that you need to know so that you can get a grip on your life. I think a lot of you might have heard of a woman called Carolyn Meese. I believe about 10 years ago she was very prominent. She still is today. And she wrote a book in which she established that our biography, our personal history, ends up becoming our biology. In other words, what your body is totally connected to what you've lived. So we have Socorro here who has volunteered to be the first person that I'm going to diagnose on camera. And again, you're welcome to bring photographs. Send us via email to francisfox.com a photograph of yourself or somebody who gives you permission, and we will do some diagnosis of you on the internet, still as effective as having you in our presence, which is one of the wonderful things about what I'd like to consider an expanded medical model, a new medical model that includes all the parts of us that are wandering out there in the psychic highways. So the diagnosis can be done without your presence. So let's go to Socorro, and I'm going to say, and hopefully Socorro is in touch with her emotions, because in medicine they've established through the science of psychoneuroimmunology that your emotions and your psychological issues end up becoming your physical body issues. That was established 40 years ago. We don't hear about it very often. But Socorro is dressed in black, but I have to say her energy field is full of depression. Are you aware of that, Socorro?
No.
You're not aware. What's your astrological sign, Socorro?
Aries.
Aries. Okay. Aries are not having an easy time astrologically, okay? Now, root chakra, which is the chakra that's in between your legs, in between your anus and your sexual organs, that's the chakra that has to do with, chakras are energy centers, that has to do with bank accounts, money, security, etc. Your root chakra, as my hand is being held here, it's getting a healing from my hand, which is not what I wanted to do, but your root chakra is heavy with depression. But I think I understood that you earned a living working with money, other people's money?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is it you did?
I work for the IRS.
You work for IRS. Well, you picked up the depression of a lot of people. Did you have a problem in that you wanted to be tough and you wanted to be a good IRS officer?
Yes.
And then you saw people who were struggling with money and people crying, and that broke your heart?
Yes.
But you had to stay tough because you had your rules?
Yes.
Were you aware that that was very bad for your emotional and spiritual health?
It was.
Okay. You're talking very mechanically. Are you aware? You're not aware of your depression, but I can tell you that the depression you're carrying, which is clearing very quickly with under my hands, the depression you're carrying is mainly due to a discrepancy between what you really want to tell people, what you want to do for them, and what you had to do as an IRS public servant. How many years did you work for IRS?
15.
15 years. And did you don't work anymore?
No, I retired about 3 years ago.
And why did you retire?
To help my daughter that was having twins.
She was having twins. Okay. Can you feel the energy that's coming out of this part of your body here? Does it feel different?
It feels a little lighter, yes.
It feels lighter. There's energy shooting up. So, I mean, I am a healer, but this is really kind of interesting because it's happening very quickly. If you have children near you, tell them to come look at this show, okay? Because children can see the energy. You can't because you were told that it doesn't exist, but your kids still are very connected to the other dimensions. So now, above her root chakra, between her root and her second chakra, which is the sexual, she has like a snake that's red, and it's moving up. Can you feel this movement coming up? And if you don't, it's okay.
No.
Okay, she has this red snake. There's something that would make you very angry about. Okay, we get really intimate here, okay, guys? Are you married?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have issues of, did you earn more than your husband? Did you have issues that you would have wanted him to earn more? You wanted more support?
Yes.
Yes, and that issue is red, which is anger, and it's between the root chakra, which has to do with money, security, paying bills, and the sexual chakra, which would have to do with relationship. So she's cranky about money having to do with her mate. Okay, does your mate provide for you now?
Yes, he does.
And is that hard for you?
Not really, no.
Okay. You get everything that you want and you need.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, so at some level, at some point, that was bothering you. Let's go further down. Even though the chakras stop here, we still have an energy field that extends. This is the female leg, and it's full of pink. Sometimes you get very tired, Socorro, but you keep moving because you love your grandchildren. Am I correct? And you don't pay attention to how tired you are.
That's right.
I don't know if you can see her face, but she looks fresher and younger. How do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Light.
Okay.
Yes. I feel refreshed.
Okay, and you have white light coming out. This is the third eye, and this is has to do with psychic abilities, also has to do with wisdom. And it's opening up, and she is actually enjoying this terribly. Do you have a problem in one of your shoulders?
No, that I'm aware.
Well, no, that you would feel.
No.
When do you have to switch your shoulder bag from one shoulder to the other sometimes?
Well, maybe my right, because everything I use my right.
Okay, so she does have a problem in her right shoulder. She said she didn't. Why? Because she does what we all do. We take care of it. It's not that big a deal. I'm not going to go to the doctor. It just hurts a little bit. I'll shift my shoulder bag.
Right.
That's here. It's a congestion of red energy. Ask your children. See if you can see it. And now she's getting angry. This part of her energetically is clamping down. So touching here, talking about her right shoulder, is reminding her of something. Let's see if she's aware of it. Are you aware you don't feel as good? Yes. Oh, we can't even hear her voice. Do you know what it is that happened here?
No, not really.
Some man at some point in your life who was standing in front of you went like that and pushed the shoulder. He actually created some issues in your jaw, so I think you must have been very uptight, and that made you physically very vulnerable, or they must have pushed you very hard. He didn't push the shoulder that was on the side of his hand. He reached across and pushed your right shoulder. Are you remembering that?
No.
Okay. So that congestion is still there, and it creates a problem with her purse. Not a big deal. But guess what? 20 years from now, she can have arthritis in that part of her neck. Let's see how her neck is doing. How's your neck?
So far is good.
Never bothers you?
No.
You don't have to adjust it in the car?
No.
Okay. This, what she has here, eventually could, maybe not, affect her neck. Okay? It could also affect her hearing. So this is easy to take care of. If at that moment she understood that that her aura was broken by the shock of being hit and the anger at whatever was going on, she could have cleared that immediately, 2 seconds flat. Today it's a little bit more difficult, not difficult at all. I used to have a radio show, and I used to get a lot of old people. When I took over the show, the previous show, I guess I had mainly older audience, and I would get a lot of old people. And it was fascinating because I would diagnose them, and of course they all wanted to know about health. Guess what? When I would check their health, a heart condition, diabetes, whatever it was, the original injury of it was always something that happened when they were young. It was an emotional trauma that happened when they were young, and 50, 60, 70 years later, they ended up with a major disease that was probably the thing that was going to kill them. So all these traumas, emotional and spiritual, that our medicine today doesn't really address fully, because most of you don't even remember it. She's not remembering. We need to go back and clean those up. But it's kind of fun, because you start to reconstruct your personal history, and maybe she'll find out, okay, about other resentments that she has against men. She already has some between her first and second chakra, and she's got it in her shoulder, and it's her shoulder bag. Money again, money, honey, money, honey. It's a theme in her life. Are you aware of that? She's laughing. You hadn't thought about that?
No.
But is money management and money important to you?
In a way.
In a way, okay. Okay, so you too have congestions in your body. In other words, your biography, what happened to you, is the reason why your neck hurts, your shoulder hurts, your foot hurts, you get arthritis, you get liver disease, you get diabetes. Your personal history. You can also get a disease transferred from someone else. That's a lot more difficult. Doesn't happen very often. But whatever disease you have, if you told me or Dr. Rojas or Dr. Camacho about a disease or a condition you have, we would automatically know what chakra was injured. You don't even know that. You may not even know where your chakras are. And we don't know you, but if you tell us your disease, we know what part of you got sick. And some of us can tell you when it is that you got sick energetically, that now you need to go to the doctor. Talking about mudras, if you want to try one right now, just take your thumbs and press it against the two inside fingers, like that, and hold the other fingers out. My patient, very obedient. See how you feel. Now go ahead and release your hands. Check your body, especially the bottom part of your body. Now go ahead and do it again. See how different you feel? How much more landed, how much more grounded? Do you see the difference in my voice now that I've done the mudra? This helps to ground you. If you're like a space cadet, or you've got ADD, or you don't pay attention, you can't remember things, this mudra all day long is going to help you a lot. And it's going to help ground your intentions. We're going to be talking a lot about intentions on the show. We have here Dottie, who's got shingles. What a condition. I had it once. Very interesting, because I didn't know what I had. I was in terrible pain. I went to my medical doctor, who's also a homeopath, okay? And he just gave me some homeopathic pills, and I never got an outbreak. The pain went away. It got under control immediately. It was not a big issue. Dottie was not able to do that. I think she got to her physician too late. So she has some issues. She has an outbreak, okay, here on the side of her neck. So why are we here? She's already being taken care of by a physician. We're here because I want to figure out for her and for you what it is that happened that broke her to such an extent that she was able to get an outbreak of shingles, okay? So I'm gonna start from the top of the head. And in terms of the crown chakra, Dottie, you have an issue of feeling like nothing ever goes right. And I know you deal with a lot of different people and a lot of different things, and that can happen when you have to manage a lot of stuff. Are you aware that you have that feeling?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's the crown chakra, which is the chakra that connects us to God and has to do with trust and faith. So we got to do a little bit of work there. Her third eye is bubbling. It's bubbling. I think she probably has a lot of psychic abilities that she's denied or never used or didn't know what to do with. And because I have had some contact with her, I think she's allowing that part of her life to expand. Is that true?
Yes.
Have you had some interesting experiences?
Yes. And I realized that I did in the past too, but didn't realize it till now.
Okay, so you had interesting experience in the past that you kind of just blew off, which is what a lot of you people are doing. You have things happening and you just don't pay any attention to it, and it turns out that that thing that happened could have cost you money from your bank account, it could have cost you a job, it could have cost you a relationship. Okay, let's continue going. And on her throat, the thing that caused the shingles are the words not expressed. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you know what can you say a little bit? You don't have to give details because, you know, this is a show.
Yes, this is due to one of my children.
That's not listening.
That's right.
And they're doing something to you that you just can't believe they're doing?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's here. That's what broke her aura there. By the way, there's a book. Some Germans did the scientific method having to do with the skin. They took a psychic and they documented every inch of the human skin and figured out what emotion would lodge where. In other words, if you had an emotional issue, an emotional breakdown, or just some feelings that were intense, you could break your aura, but in very specific parts of your body. So we are going to look up on that body map. The name of the author, by the way, is Kramer, K-R-A-M-E-R. We're going to look up this part of Dottie's neck to find the flower essences that will help to heal this. But she got the outbreak not in the trunk of her body, where I see it a lot, but in her neck. Why? I can't believe they're doing this to me. Words that she has in her throat She's not uttering them. They broke her throat chakra. Broke her throat chakra. And that's where she got the shingles. So you need to do a mantra. Please, God, help me with my intention to heal my rage at my child. Okay, that's the intention mantra. And even though I can't believe they did this, I love and accept myself. That's the purification mantra. Okay? And that will take away what actually allowed this to happen, the basis for this, psychoneuroimmunology. I'm not the one who set it up. The medical sciences are the ones that did the studies. 40 years ago, they established that your unresolved emotions and psychological issues are the basis for your diseases. And we have found the basis for this very, very painful condition. Do you want me to continue a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Your heart is very open. You have a broken heart, but it's very open, this chakra. So you're feeling a lot of emotional pain. You didn't shut down. Are you aware of that?
Kind of. I mean, I love people and everything, but it just hurt me a lot.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you're feeling it a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had pain here or in the back here?
In the back.
You had pain there. This is the liver. And I've seen too many people with pain in the back of their liver. I thought the liver only had a front. I'm not a medical doctor, remember? But there's a back there too, and a lot of people who sometimes don't deal with emotions, that's where it hurts. You need a little bit of help with your liver. You need a liver cleanse because this liver is limping. It's limping. In other words, she has such a congestion of emotions there that it's not functioning the way it should. I'm going to ask somebody in the audience to please come through. So she had a strong arm, very strong. She's small, thin, very strong arm. Now she's holding a piece of Dottie that is really not well. She doesn't have liver disease according to medicine, okay? She has a liver that's congested with emotions. And let's see what transfers, if anything. Let's see if she can stay strong as she's touching something that's weak. Okay? You're strong? You're centered? Okay, okay. I don't really need to make much. Go ahead. Strong, strong. Now, take your arm off. Don't touch. And let's try it again. Okay? So, your husband, the liver in my, thank you. The liver in my book is where a lot of negative emotion of anger is kept. When you want to be pleasant, when you do business, and you have to be pleasant. You cannot be slapping around your clients. Put it away, it ends up in your liver. And there's also a different emotion, which is grief underneath that. That's what she has here. She has a congestion. That's the kind of thing I want you to become aware of, because there's a lot of alternative things that you can do for this, even though in her case it's so congested. I do feel she does need some alternative medical help. But this has to do with rage. Okay? So the mantra, the purification mantra, even though I'm angry, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm angry, I love and accept myself. Flower essences, we have a formula, I don't have it near me, that is called anger. And it's for anger and impatience and frustration. And it has several flowers, just their essence, a tincture of their essence, that if you take it internally and also spray, it diminishes this black, what's no longer a cloud, it's already like jello. Let me talk about that for a second. Emotions are light, but once they congest and you don't allow them to move, like you don't scream at everybody you feel like screaming at, they congest, and then they become like a cloud that stays. And if they stay for a long time, they start to become like jello, like a liquidy jello, like that's all broken up. And if they stay long enough, they become like a real hard jello. Once they become any consistency of jello, you have a medical issue. And I learned that many years ago when I would see entirely too many men that their second chakra had this jello-like effect, and I didn't know what it was until one day I stopped and I checked with my psychic abilities. They all had prostrate issues. So in that case, it was the second chakra. In this case, it's the liver. She doesn't have a liver issue according to a medical doctor. I don't know. Have you done?
Yeah, no, I don't
She doesn't have anything according to medicine. Why? Is it that I'm seeing something that her doctor's not seeing? They're only taking care of the physical body. And all of us here are taking care of and working with the parts of you that you own, that are yours, that are not in the physical dimension. And those are the parts of you that you can learn to take care of easily. So I hope that you found this interesting. I hope you send us your questions via email. francisfox.com is where our website is, which is where this will be playing continuously in live stream. And if you want to send us a photograph, we're going to choose 1 or 2 people that we will diagnose on air, and we hope to be doing this once a week. Psychic solutions for what you can really call psychic issues. Most of you think that everything that's not physical, that's information, is psychic. That is the case. The psychic highways contain the most precious part of you. They contain your electrical system, which is getting killed by the radiation. That's what Dr. Kamasha was talking about. It contains your emotional system, which is the part of you that's called the astral body, that astral travels at night and has incredible experiences. And it contains your mental body, which is the part of you, that your mind, that grabs onto your bank account and ex-boyfriends and arguments that you can't let go of. And it contains your causal intentional body, where all your intentions are. That part of you gets completely overwhelmed by the other bodies. You're going to learn a lot about them, and you're going to be able to take this information and use it at home and show other people. It's fun. When we get together, we talk about chakras. How's your chakra? I just cleaned this up. I have a new aromatherapy. I found a flower essence for food coma. Did you know that there's a flower essence for food coma when you eat and then you just got to take a nap? You all know somebody who does that. Generally men. You all know somebody who does that. There's a flower essence for that. That kind of stuff is fun and very useful. So we hope to see you again next week with another show on psychic solutions.